The sweet.
You gotta drop a sweet beat just to get the vibe going. All beats made right here at the sweet.
The sweet.
Oh yeah. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let's get that energy flowing. Again, this is Courtland W. Hankins, the third, aka the president of hip hop, and this is the sweet. Today we have a wonderful guest. He goes by the name of Optometrist. Alright, so we're gonna get all into his story as it relates to hip hop and his life and his personal journey. So, again, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit. We're going to get right into it.
The sweet.
Optometrist.
Yes.
What up, brother?
Yes.
How you doing?
What up? Everything is good.
First and foremost, let me get this volume about right. Just keep it a little low. We have a little vibe still going.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yes.
All the way from Shaolin.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to talk much. That's about the most you'll hear me talk, I think.
Okay.
During this interview. We'll see.
Okay.
But it's about you today.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I had you here, right? And I wanted to have you here as one of the first interviewees on the suite, is because you're a true hip hopper. You're a true practitioner, artist, and you live the culture, and you're grown, right? Hip hop is not just for teenagers. We grow as we grow up. We don't just lose it. We become more refined. Within the culture. And I think it's our responsibility to make sure we leave a legacy for those coming up to be just as refined, right?
Right.
So anyway, I just said I wouldn't talk a lot, right?
So good.
Anyway, brother, tell us about about yourself, where you're from, and let's get it started that way, and then I'll get into a few questions.
All right. Well, like you said, my name is Optometrist, straight from Staten Island, New York. Producer, MC, father, brother. Son. Hard worker. Got albums out. Got my own website. Perform, rock the mic, do all that good stuff.
Okay.
Word.
Easy. So, optometrist.
Yes.
The name. What's the backstory on that? What's the math on that?
Okay. Well, back in the day, we was formulating a group called the Surgeons, and it was coming from Staten Island, definitely looked up to Wu-Tang, and I liked the way they had everything based behind concepts. So the Surgeons was based off of we came up with like a lot of rhymes. It was a two group band. Me and my man a two group MC situation. Me and my man at the time, his name was Pericardium.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, the Surgeons was based off the fact that when we kicked our rhymes, a lot of metaphors was going on, a lot of similes was going on, and for youngsters, we was in high school now, and we was winning shows and things like that, and the concept was just like also like we just slicing things up, you know what I'm saying? Slice rhymes up or whatever. So at the time, my name was Bass, B-A-S. Badass Shorty, or my real name is Seth, Badass Seth, but it was really like Badass Shorty or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that didn't go with the concept of the Surgeons.
Right.
Pericardium, my man was nice. He just it was like you ride a beat like the heart, you know what I mean? You just always pumping, you know what I mean? You always live with the beat or whatever. That was pericardium. And pericardium is
tell me what is pericardium?
Pericardium is like the muscle that protects the heart.
You
know what I
mean?
I
was getting
we was getting on it. And we was in high school. We was in high school on it like that.
Okay.
So actually at this time we was in junior high school. This is like 8th grade. It was like 8th grade, so we were going into high school. It was like seniors or whatever.
Coming off of life science,
right? You know what I'm saying? So you can already know that around that time, like this is definitely like 8th grade, we like 13, 14, so it's just like 93, 94. You know what I mean? And so again, around that era, this is when the Wu was just popping off. A lot of groups at that time had concepts, but we was definitely like, yo, we have to have something sharp with it. So He was already set. That's we was trying to work on, and I just happened to get in a situation at school where I was a little, like I said, badass shorty. So I was the type of kid that was getting in trouble a lot or whatever. So I was on probation as a senior, and we going on trips to Six Flags. And to me, that's like Disney. I ain't never been to none of that. You know what I'm saying? This is a senior trip. Let's get it going.
Right.
I can't get in no trouble. So I wound up getting into a situation when we come back from recreation, lunch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And somebody put my book on somebody else's desk that I really didn't rock with or whatever. So he wound up getting in my face like, yo, you put this on my desk. I'm like, give me my book, man. Like basically someone set us up, I guess, to fight or whatever.
Okay.
So someone wound up getting into like just swinging a lot, and the way he was fighting was like kind of like a girl or whatever. So he was like just swinging, and I didn't want to get in trouble, so I'm just blocking it. And the teacher's looking at me, and I'm like, Mr. So and So, I'm on probation,
right.
But you know what I mean?
Like, you know what I'm
saying? Like, and that's how the fight was just really wasn't. Some couldn't fight if I'm able to talk at the same time.
Right.
Like, come on, man, like. I'm like, I gotta do something now. And he nips me in the ear, and as soon as he nips me in the ear, it's just a quick reaction. And I snuffed him. But when I snuffed him, I don't feel that I really hit him to the point where he exaggerated the situation to get me in trouble, because it happened to be that this kid had a teacher. His mother was a teacher in the same school.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All
So
right.
I'm gonna get in trouble automatically through politics of me beating up a son of a teacher that's in the school, and I'm on probation. I shouldn't be getting in trouble anyway.
Right.
So being that he exaggerated, I just was one punch, and the punch made it seem like I just alley-ooped him or something. Right. You know what I mean? Maybe I did, but I just didn't feel that way.
Right.
But he tried to come through, and what made it worse, he came through with the ice pack. I was like, oh, come on, man, because I don't think I don't remember. I think that I grazed him also. Like he grazed me, I grazed him. I didn't get like a real, because when you feel like, oh, I wanted to get that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just don't, even to this day. So then my man was like, at first he was like the doctor of the eye. So he's like, doctor of the eye. Now I know where to stop. My partner, we went to we was in the same class or whatever. So my man pericardium, he was like, doctor of the eye. Now I know where to stop. Like we used to bug out in class anyway to make, you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, that's dope. So at first it was like the eye doctor. My brother, by the name of Cyclonus, he was in college at the time. So, he was collegiate with it, and be like, yo, why don't you be the ophthalmologist? Okay. Because the ophthalmologist is the eye surgeon. Okay. And being that we are surgeons, surgeons. So what I always do with names or whatever, I see if they flow. That's how I did bass, fast, trash, whatever. Anything like add, you can really do it like, attack, black, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You go on. You know what I mean? So ophthalmologist, I was like, that's too long. You know what I mean? Ophthalmologist. I was like, let me see what optometrist is. Optometrist is an eye doc. Okay, optometrist is dropping this. I got this. I blocked this. Socking this. I'm like, okay, this is going to be, this is the one. You know what I mean? So then, that's the backdrop, and of course, that's like the origin, y'all. That's the origin. Okay. So now I go with, the O. The O is the cipher. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The cipher is 360. Mm-hmm. Right now, you go 180, 360. And right now, we're in a 180 degree where we have to bring this hip hop stuff back to where its essence is at. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then also the eye doctor, basically, just my rhymes is very vivid, very visual. I still hone to the craft of the metaphorical and the similes. Within the raps and the double meanings and things like that. Right. You know what I mean? Right. For you just to see it, and that's basically what it is now. You know what I'm saying?
So it was so y'all got it, y'all. The origin and the history, but of course, as any MC and artist does, they continue to see other parallels as they evolve and continue to build on the name and the symbolism and all of that. So I'm peeping that. I like that. Yeah. That's dope. A lot of O going on, a lot of cipher going on, and optometrist, right? Playing up your vision. Yes, so what's your earliest memory in hip hop? In terms of like the first memory you could think of hip hop, whether it's a song or might have been something that happened outside or whatever.
My earliest memory, real talk, is it was like a blackout. I used to live in Markham Homes, West Brighton, Staten Island, New York, and there was a blackout. And all, at that time, you just got the candles out. Everybody, the family's still outside. Everybody, the community is outside, and the boom boxes, the music, everything's just being played because there ain't nothing to do, just having fun. lighting each other up with like I said, with all the candles and everybody's outside. And I just remember hearing songs like, the whole, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane's, even the Fat Boys, you know what I'm saying? And Fresh Prince and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I vividly, I remember Fat Boys and loving the Fat Boys for the fact that I remember them, if I'm not mistaken, pardon me if I am, but for me, like, that was like the first, they were the first hip hop group that I was watching a movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and naked chicks was running around like, oh, that's dope, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just like, oh, these dudes is ill,
Easy,
Whoa.
Easy. That's what's up. Shout out to the Fat Boys.
Yes.
Right, those that are RIP, and those that are still with us. All right, Prince Monkey D, Kuraski, and the Human Beatbox. So, anyway, so you talked about the boomboxes, right? The first project when I met you, you had a project called Boombox Material.
Yeah.
Is there a parallel to even that story that you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That I definitely have a song talking about the whole vibe of having a boombox. Okay. How you was the man with the boombox, and sometimes also you was the man getting caught for that boombox. You know what I mean? Some dudes got one of my first, as a kid, first murders was a dude that got hemmed up for his boombox. He wasn't running it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't running it, and it was a rap. You know what I'm saying?
It was real like that.
So I definitely got a song on that. But also you was the man with it. If you had it, 9 times out of 10, you had the new joints before the radio was popping, or you had it with the radio. Like, oh, the only time I heard it was on the radio. How you get it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because remember, we didn't have the downloads like that. You know what I mean?
Nah, none of that. That was before the Walkmans and all of that.
For real. And imagine now. You can imagine for me, Staten Island is outer. So if you was the man with this stuff,
right.
It's like, yo.
Right, it was a little outside of that immediate loop.
It's like, yo, how you get that? Right. How you got Rakim? Like, yo, you must go off the island.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You must,
so yeah, extra cool. So a dude from Staten Island,
because you're
extra cool. Hell yeah. Because you bouncing, you know what I'm saying? You bouncing, keep it moving.
Yep. Yeah, there was definitely nothing like all this transferring and emailing and all that. No. It was all physical material, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's I like that story because it brought me back. Right. To the boom. I always remember the ones with the little big red dot in the middle. Mm-hmm. Or whatever red bubble in the middle. Mm-hmm. But you talk about producing. Now I'm a producer, right? So let's have a little bit of producer talk.
Okay.
All right. What's your weapons of choice in terms of making beats?
As far as like vinyl.
No, as far as constructing the beat.
What I use?
Yeah, what you use.
Oh, okay. I have fun. Okay. I have fun. It's bugged out. Yesterday, my weapon of choice because I started off digitally because it was feasible financially. So I started off with the Fruity Loops. Okay. And then reading. I look up to producers and I'm like, I was like, I definitely want this MPC. Let me rewind. Growing up, I've had producers around, and they was on the ASR, the ASR press or whatever, right? Then, I couldn't afford it or whatever, so my man gave me a CD with mad hacked information on it, and Fruity Loops was the one. Then I stepped up to Reason. I've been on Reason. I did all my albums on Reason. Okay. I have an MPC 2000 XL where some of my I had a campaign was on Bump Day, and a lot of those beats was on the MPC. Yeah. I go back and forth with the MPC and Reason now. I'm on Reason 8. Okay. I don't wanna upgrade or nothing like that because even when I upgrade,
what are they up to now?
I think 10. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Right. I like what I have because when you upgrade, sometimes you got to relearn the whole door system.
Learning curve.
Yeah, I'm good. But the MPC, I love the MPC. The beats come out different. It's definitely a different fluid vibe, and because it's funny because now that I've made beats on the MPC, I kind of use that technique now when I make my beats on Reason. Sequencing. Right. You know what I mean? Okay. You know what I mean? Before I don't know how I wasn't doing it like that. I was like, how was I doing it?
You was just going straight through?
I don't know if I was going straight through. I think I was sequencing, but now it's a purpose sequence. Okay, I'm gonna do these.
More structure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do these 4 bars here, this 2 bar here, this 4, and moving things and deleting things, and taking them out or whatever. You know what I'm
so
saying?
kind of got you more to it. Because it's not as much leeway in those older machines.
Right.
So you kind of gotta have your like, okay, let me do this here, put this here, because I can't just sample forever. I don't have all these tools at my at my disposal. So I kind of got to do this, move to this, move to that. When the technology now, you kind of have like free reign and 1,000 tools. You can kind of move a lot of different ways. But I started on an Ensoniq.
Okay.
By the way, EPS 16 plus.
Okay.
The ASR and the ASRX. Then I went to an MPC.
Okay.
And then I went to Reason.
He's killing
right? Then I went to Reason,
okay.
and I rock with Reason. Reason 3, and it was one of those things where like
I was
coming
on
out with 7.
2.5.
Right. But I was stuck on 3 because I was like, man, I ain't trying to upgrade. I don't want to learn nothing new, right? And right now I use MPC Renaissance. Right?
I have the MPC Touch that I haven't even cracked open that box.
That's
I gotta crack that. You know what I mean?
That's my baby Simone right there. The MPC 1000 little trick.
Yeah.
Out.
Okay.
Okay. So that's my little portable. But yeah. Who are your producer influences? If you had any, would you had to have some?
I mean, truth be told, I didn't even know it for the longest because. I mean, I did, but I was just like, okay, wow, all right, but Prince Paul.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, wow,
Prince Paul is the initial.
Yeah.
Is the initial for me because you gotta understand. Like, this is what I was doing. Everything was just me. A lot of times, I had a DJ friend across the street, so he would give me instrumentals that he would loop, and I would want to do that, but I don't got vinyl. I don't have the text, the techniques. You know what I'm saying? I don't got it. I just can't afford them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going down. But I got a tape recorder, and I'm doing the tapes, dubbing the tapes. So you have 3 tapes. You have the instrumental, or you have the song or the loop or whatever you want, and you record it on one tape, and then you take that other tape that had the song, take that away. Now you have that one recording. You put it back in the recording. You put the other tape there, and then you make 2 of them, and then I'll be looping them, but they're not being on beat.
Right, you always
only sometimes.
Right, but not every time.
You like on that time, like, yo, what I do?
It's not a sequence.
Exactly.
It's not a sequence. It's not.
So I'm doing that, but I'm taking loops from De La Soul. De La Soul is dead. You know what I mean? I'm taking loops. I'm whatever loops that I can find.
Shout out to Prince Paul.
And what it was, I loved their albums, their skits, the way they were structured. And then when you find out, okay, of course now RZA. But the RZA was influenced by Prince Paul. Grave Diggers, you know what I'm saying, it was Prince Paul. So then, of course, you go to your Dr. Dre's. You go to. I mean, I'm gonna go all over the place though.
Go ahead.
You go to Pete Rock, of course. You go to Large Professor. You go to Primo. You know what I'm saying. And I like the I don't want to say new, but the more current ones like whatchamacallit, Sean Peace producer, also DJ Evil D and that squad right there. You know what I'm saying? But who am I thinking? I'm trying to. I think he's also a professor also. Then slipping my I like dudes like A-Rap Music as well, like the new cats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So I listen to it all. Word. And then even though I may not agree with his views, not like that, but I can't front on his ability. Kanye. You know what I'm saying? His can't front on his artistic work. His beat selection is. He revived a few dudes' careers, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
That's fact.
Well, I mean, I don't want to offend nobody. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, he's about to
listen. They get money. They can't be. If they didn't reject the money, they can't be offended.
Well,
so
if I'm missing, but I listen to a lot. I can say Timberland. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to a lot. I don't.
Well, you can't list them all because there's so many. I mean, Large Professor was probably my first influence.
Q-Tip. I didn't even know. Until recently, I didn't even know. Eric Sherman, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's, you know, Eric Sherman, but for me, sometimes I think like the beats that he made for Method Man wasn't for Method Man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
EPMD though.
EPMD is hard.
Okay. Right.
He's funk.
Right.
He made,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? He made Method Man. Method Man to me is just gritty.
Well, that's yeah.
You know what I mean? That you should have stuck with that. Bring the
rhythm.
pain. That's me as a fan. I'm speaking as a fan.
Sometimes you don't know till you try.
Yeah,
you know?
So, you know what I'm saying?
You know, that's what it is. You know, I've gone a lot of different angles, but many of you and experimented. But you know, many of you got many of the same influences. We come from pretty much the same era. I might be a little before you, but but yeah, all the names you mentioned, crazy.
Right.
You know, like you said, you can go on and on and on in terms of producers. But it's good to be sitting with another.
Oh, one more. I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm playing myself, but I'm pretty sure you'll help me out with it.
Go ahead.
But Public Enemy Squadron.
Oh.
They're producers.
Yeah.
What's the name of them?
No question. The Bomb Squad.
Yeah.
The Bomb Squad. Yeah. Hank Shockley and them, right? Okay.
Yeah, they were monsters.
Yeah, definitely. That sound. If you ever watch or read up on their process, it's crazy.
I've seen
it.
Yeah.
It's their whole process.
Marley Marl.
Crazy.
Okay, keep going.
Marley. Oh, wait, hold on. Time out.
We
gotta stop on
yeah.
Marley though.
Yeah.
We gotta give a little bit of, you know, just pause. But
Yes.
Marley changed the whole scope and sound of what we know as hip hop. He shifted. Yeah. So we gotta. Yeah,
he
Marley
was doing things that you can do on these programs without him having that program at the time. But he's filtering things. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know,
so I'll
Marley
save the
Marl,
best for last.
They have white brother, Paul C. is a legend. You know, within the circles, I used to be out in Queens. That's when I first started producing. So, Enlarged Pro was just his sound was one of my biggest influences. But you guys shout out him. You guys shout out Paul C. Who, you know, kind of, you know, gave him the platform and taught a lot of brothers. And shout out to C4 and Tyrone Harden, who gave me that EPS 16 and showed me how to put it down. C4 was a brother who did a lot of beats, but his most famous one was Akinelli's Put It In Your Mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's what's up.
That's my man there.
That's what's up.
All right, so let's talk about your current projects.
Okay.
All right, or some of your past projects. We talked about a little bit about Boombox Material. I don't know if you had any projects before then, and I know you're working on some things after that. So tell us about that.
Right,
and then make sure you give any information, and I'll put the links and all of that, but any information in terms of how they can connect with you and your music.
All right. So the albums that I have, Super Rhymes, The Pen and Pad Chronicles was my first album. Then I came out with a mixtape, Who's Your Favorite MC, Volume 1.
Okay.
Then we linked up. After that was Boombox Material.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have a single out, On the Move, which is to my album that's about to drop February. On Predatory Tactics.
Predatory
Tactics.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be an EP.
Full album or
an EP.
EP?
Or maybe I think it's a full album. I think it's converted to a full album. Because that was one of the weights or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I have. But like I said, in between that, I always kept the fans buzzing with the bump day, where I would just release a single every Wednesday on something that's not related to a project, just some tracks that I'm just playing with. Yeah, hold that. You know what I'm saying?
So you just stay busy.
Well,
you know?
Yeah.
And I know you're always ready. I've seen you, you know, at a lot of spots. First time I saw you, I think, was at End of the Week. Yo, Dub.
Okay.
It might have been the first time I saw you years ago.
Yeah.
On the stage and your energy, and you was doing your thing. Very confident in how you know, projected your art.
Right.
And
Appreciate that.
And then I always see you, you know, working and representing. You know,
Yeah.
you live it.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I appreciate
For real,
it.
for
I mean,
real,
I'm sitting on a few albums. I got albums that are done, sitting on a desktop. But you know, so I guess what holds me back from dropping, I just don't want to drop things and it doesn't get any traction.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You want to try to do it.
So I'm just trying to get sharper each album. You know what I mean? Because independently, you know, I haven't really financially exceeded. You know what I'm saying, with any of the albums. So each one is a learning process. Like, okay, I just gotta do this one better this way, this, that,
right.
You know, maybe have to drop a little bit more change in this album than I did in the last one. That's all.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm sitting, and whenever that one pops, because I got Arsenal, you already got Arsenal at work.
Right.
I can be that dude.
You got a lot of content. So
when
it's time to start
for
doing all the ducks.
real.
You can put
and what's a good thing too is that it don't sound dated because I ain't trying to sound like the sound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You do your thing.
Right.
You continue to do your thing in your sound.
Right.
No question.
So predatory tactics is the next one about to drop.
Where's it gonna drop? When you drop on iTunes.
Yeah.
You have a website.
What I'm doing all my albums are on iTunes.
Okay.
But with this one, I'm kind of thinking maybe I may do something exclusive where you just get it straight from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or from my website, of course, www.otunes.com. That's Otunes with a Z.
Okay.
OTUNEZ.com. You know what I'm saying? Or I just may still just release it digitally, but have like the autographed and the shirts and the hats, and I have it in like a glass case where you can just order it and be something like $60 to $100 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I should have got you to bring my hat. We never linked up,
right? I got hats. I always got hats. Like you said, I'm always hustling. I got hats in the V. I didn't bring it up. I should have brought it up.
That's all right.
But because I was running late. But yeah. You know what I mean? Or like, shirts, just always grinding, always making things happen. So yeah, most likely it's gonna be on iTunes and all your Spotify's, all those, digital platforms, and I'm definitely gonna have the CD, the bundle package, a little bit more special to have it autographed and come with a shirt and because people are, there's no reason to get a CD, you know what I'm saying? So here's a reason why,
right,
you know what I'm
exactly.
saying? It's a little special if you're a collector's individual like yourself, you know what I mean? And they're out there, they still exist, where if you want to smell it, where you open it,
exactly.
It smells
we're still physical beings. We're still physical beings at the end of the day,
Word.
so we need something physical to represent.
Word.
It's important to make that available. Now I'm gonna ask you a question, change lanes a little bit about hip hop and culture.
Okay.
Right? As the suite is utilizes hip hop as from a socio-political, educational angle. So I like to get into those sort of conversations. Do you believe hip hop is bigger than just the music and the entertainment?
Yeah, absolutely. It's proof of it. It's in commercials.
Mm-hmm.
It's in majority of your sports halftime shows. You know what I'm saying? Not even just halftime, during a break, during a timeout.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's big.
Okay.
And then it's worldwide. It's international.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It definitely is global. Do you think it influences behavior and people's outlook on life or perspectives?
Yes.
And do you think hip hop is doing a good job?
No.
No. What do you think hip hop can improve as a culture that is very influential in how people act or their belief systems?
I think we plan ourselves because why we don't own the majority of these radio stations. Because at the end of the day, it's hard to improve when the money is coming in. And if I'm going to tell you to sound like this, and I say no, but the next man behind me is going to be like,
right.
I'll take it.
It's going to be a long line of yeses.
Yeah,
You ain't going to get no shortage of that.
I'll take it. I'll take it. So, being that's why it is bigger now, because corporations have realized that it's bigger than music.
Right.
And now we can definitely take over this. And, music, movies, everything is influential to a little kid.
Correct. Art itself.
Yeah.
And influential to not so little kids either.
Right. Mentally, I guess. You know what I mean? The mentals of an individual that isn't that sharp or whatever. We all get, and even if you are sharp, you all get influenced.
Exactly, from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The sharpest ones kind of know what they should, what influences they should,
They'll
follow
get it.
and not.
Okay, this is just entertainment. It ain't for real.
Right, exactly. So if you talked about ownership, right? If and I'm gonna say black people, right? Hip hop, and we could say hip hop, right? But hip hop is still, in my opinion, and these are my opinions, is still the foundation is still from black culture, right?
Yes, yes.
So if black people have more in the hands of ownership, right? More ownership in their hands of this particular culture and medium and art form, do you think there may be a difference in what we just talked about in terms of how hip hop is portrayed? Do you think it might be more balanced?
I would just have to say I would hope. You know what I mean? I would have to say I would hope. We don't know, you know.
Right,
we
that's
don't,
true.
We don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's just it's when the morals kick in.
Yeah. You
got morals and money. You know, and you already, now the blueprint is already set. So just say, you know what, we're not doing this no more. But someone comes through with that cash, that wad of cash, and you know, I don't know. I don't know, because you know what? Because now let me take a step back, because there's times where I can even get caught up in the brainwash system and thinking that this shake, can we curse and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay, this shake your ass, do it quick, do it fast type of raps is selling more than the lyrical individual, split your wig into type of, you know,
right,
deep substance driven type
more
of hip hop
joints.
But J. Cole and Kendrick is selling just as much as a twerk type live rapper.
Right.
And some of these live rappers ain't even selling, they just getting more publicity, more shows, because they're doing club appearances and things like that. So, you know, perception.
Right.
And that they, I guess those type of MC, those type of rappers, those type of artists, because I don't want to call them MCs at all, those type of individuals that rhyme with the live twerk type of rap and things like that, I guess they have some type of niche of knowing how to do to shock value, the wow factor, doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, truth be told, I was watching the Rainbow Dude because it was interesting. Like, y'all really mess with this, but I'm giving him a view. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm still giving him
Either
a
way
view.
it goes, right?
Still giving him a view. You feel me?
Still giving him attention.
So yeah. So it's like, when you see that, it's just like, okay, now am I giving someone a view who's in the studio showing you the craft?
Right.
You know what I mean? Is that boring? Is it more live than the shock value to see something stupid?
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, of course, because you're just like, what? And you watching it like, man, you're not even entertained. I'm not, but at the same time, split screen, the next one's like, yo, this shit is dope.
We all
you know
watch Car Crash, right?
Yeah.
We all slow down, look at
Word,
neck, right?
Word.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a part of life, and you're not going to get totally away from it, but balance would be a little more balance. And shout out to J. Cole, he's a producer. He does most of his beats, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so shout out to J. Cole is a young dope producer.
Yep.
So yeah, let's I didn't plan on talking about this, but before we got into it, we talked a little bit about we kind of got into spirituality a bit, right? And kind of had a conversation on how that can be brought into, you know, hip hop. I mean, every MC has their testimony, right? So can we, if you don't mind, you know, can we talk a little bit about, you know, your views in terms of spirituality, how it relates to hip hop, or how do you utilize hip hop in your spirituality? Right.
Well, I definitely believe in God. You know what I'm saying? I definitely, my viewings is from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So, like we were saying before, I don't want to say that I'm a particular Christian or Catholic or this, that, and third, but because I believe in the Bible and I believe in Jesus Christ, right? You know, I guess that would fall in the line of Christianity. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's definitely what I was brought up in, but I definitely look into the Torah and the Quran, and I look at, and I branch out, and also the 5%ers and things like that, and just hear what dudes are speaking. Because at the end of the day, you're just searching for the truth,
right?
Because you don't want to be in a situation where, okay, like I was born into it. You know what I mean? My family, my mom. So you don't want to. Why you believe in the Bible? Exactly, because your mom's. You know what I'm saying? So yes, and then you just start searching this, that, and third. But then, you know, for me, I've been through experiences. You know, and dudes want to, for me, the way I see it, dudes want to scapegoat it and just call it the universe or other stuff. I'm just going to, for me, that's God. You know what I mean? And I know what other religions or atheists, some of them just don't include Jesus Christ. And to me, the debate of Jesus Christ has been going on forever, before my time, before your time. And I just would think that it would have been already negated that this man has not exist, but it's still, if you Google it, you'll have a split 50-50 of information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You will. So it's not going away. It's not going to be
yeah,
it'll be like you have he is and he is not.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So and then when for me, I can go back off, all right, let's not even use the text. But what about archaeologists and things like that, and then certain items that were found that link
to the
stories.
Okay.
What we saying about that?
Right.
You know what I mean? What we doing here? You know? And I know Zygas, the DVD, I saw that too. I watched everything.
Right.
I'm the type of dude that I want to go to the opposer, the opposite view.
Well, that's the best way to
learn. Yeah, exactly. And get
disturbed. You got to get different people's visions and perspectives,
and
right?
Get disturbed and be like, you know what? Let me go into this.
So you can see clearly.
Exactly. Right. You know what I mean? So, what was I saying? So, yeah, I just think with that, because it's a split, I'd rather just go with the yay instead of the nay.
Okay.
And I've been in situations whether people can marry everybody, and that's the thing. You don't want to sound generic. I'm not trying to convert nobody, but I've definitely been in situations where it's just like it's got to be the utmost.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Got to be.
Right.
Like I ain't supposed to be here, but you ain't supposed to talk like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some things that
you know
what I mean? Word, like yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, and
Understood.
certain people have that gift of seeing signs and things like that.
Right.
They do. So,
tuned in.
and it's that it's a beautiful curse at the end of the day. Word is born. You know what I mean?
Understood.
Word.
Understood. Now let me ask you this: two more things regarding spirituality. You talked about Christ. So you obviously believe he existed. Do you think he was blind and blue-eyed?
No. But the thing is, that's also, I think that's just the United States.
Okay.
Because I know for a fact, you look at those walls in Italy, in those church cathedrals, he's black. He's black on those walls.
Right. Right.
So and that's the thing. It's like the American
Western
atheists.
Europeans. Right, okay.
Well, I'm saying the American atheists, especially in the black culture,
okay,
it's based off is a
rejection of the white Jesus.
It's a reaction, and
Okay.
it's understood. It's a reaction based off that.
Right.
But I build with dudes. I'm like, with my text, we ain't got no pictures in this Bible. There's no colors in this Bible. There's no pictures. There's no pop-up. It's not a pop-up book.
Right.
And nowhere in the Bible it describes them as a blind head, blue eye. So don't just negate that. That's just
Right.
that's
Yeah,
just that. I said something like the Bible is like a hammer. It's a tool that is used to build. But I can also bash your head over that. You know what I'm saying? And misuse it. You know what I'm saying? Word.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's just it's definitely, it says in the Bible that it doesn't specifically, because it's poetic or whatever in certain aspects, it doesn't specifically say, okay, Jesus was black. But if you look at the wording when he's coming back from Revelation or whatever for the rapture, eyes fiery red, hair of wool, feet of brass.
Right.
So you just would do the math. What's the color of brass? It's fiery red. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. And then, if you want to go into that, but even if you didn't want to do that, I was about to say, even if exactly, I was about to say, now we can go back to just the land
the time,
of,
right? What was there? Okay, yeah.
But other countries recognize him as being black. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
They're just sticking with
the Western European
States
image,
yes,
right? Which the United States got from the Western European
Word,
image,
yes,
right? And one more thing, and then we'll move into another topic. Do you now or in the future see yourself? Because we were also saying that y'all worked with some Christian rappers and some gospel rappers, and I used to always early when I used to hear gospel rap, I used to be like, I just don't. Right. I don't have that.
I'm not a gospel rapper at all.
Do you see yourself maybe going that route?
Nah. I rap because like I said, I ain't trying to convert nobody or nothing like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not perfect, but I'm just saying with what I believe in, and you know what I'm saying? This is what I believe. But if for you to claim that's a powerful walk that I guess. I don't even know if I want to, that's just a walk that I'm not ready to do because I still have my regular human flesh ways, I guess.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is a commitment.
I ain't trying to
and a
be
claim,
that.
right? That's like saying,
so I'd rather relate to the people.
right.
Not saying that they don't, but I'm not preaching to nobody, and I'm still gonna have a party track here.
Gotcha.
They're gonna tell you to turn that water into wine
Right.
and get twisted. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
You know what I mean?
Just because you're a Christian don't mean you gotta be a pastor.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Understood.
But I just what it is because of social media, and I follow interesting. I follow and I am friends with interesting, sharp atheists that was in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that came
That
up.
was in the church or whatever.
Right.
It was like, yo, this is
Right.
why, and we hung out and chilled together. What I missed?
Mhm.
What happened? What happened? What happened to you, son? What happened? You know what I mean?
Right.
But
right.
to the atheist that wasn't in it, I get it. You don't understand it. For me to talk to you, you're right behind the ears. You would have to, experience, get taught. Because even when I hear someone say, I've been to school, I've been to Catholic school, or I've been to church, this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Cool. And I read the book or whatever. That don't mean that you know it. Did you study it?
Right.
Was you tested on it? What was your grade?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
are we speaking to a scholar, or are we just speaking like, why did we die? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Come on, babe. I can't even tell you. These are lessons that you should have learned in kindergarten. So
Right.
if you ain't on there yet, then we ain't going.
We
You know what
got
I'm
to meet up
saying?
later down the line.
Yeah. So that's all. Because it's like, because then again it's just searching for the truth situation. Like what happened? You know what I mean? The Bible states you. What type of documentation you got for that? And all the time it's the same. And then I'm like, nah, come on, we got pseudoscience or pseudo history or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You know.
Understood.
Word.
All right. Right? Is your vision 2020?
Yes, it is.
I know I'm not the first to ask you that question. Right? So, let's talk a little bit of socio-politics, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about the landscape today? We are in the Trump era. We just passed. This is not a live show, so we're around the time where the shutdown just temporarily ended, right, with Trump. And I don't particularly want to date this particular show, but that's just where we are. Tell me how you feel about the political landscape and, if possible, how it relates to, hip hop culture, maybe you as an MC, the messages, whatever.
I don't want to sound cliche, but I go with this. It's crazy. It's insane right now. It's nuts, B. It's nuts. I don't agree with all that world talk. You're gonna hear my rhymes. I definitely have lines where I'm saying, and we've heard it also. But that red cap is the new signification of the white hood, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way my view of it is, man.
Okay.
If you're black, if you're a person of color, and you support that movement, that's another thing. What I do is it's the same thing with the religion aspect. Let's build.
Right.
I'll let you know how I feel. I'm like, you support white supremacy, prove me wrong. And I get crickets. You know what I'm saying? I get crickets. I come at family members. I come at friends. Whoever support that, I'm not deleting nobody. You can sound crazy. I'll just tune out because I get very passionate with the situation.
Understood.
But you're still my man, because then I'm just like, yo, this is insane. This dude Trump got us by the balls, and we don't even know it because we just talking about him damn near every day.
It's sort of like what you said, when you said about I'm paying a review. He's mastered that art,
son.
right?
Son, if you agree with him, if you disagree with him,
it
you're
doesn't
still
matter.
talking
You're
about.
he's
He's
still
chilling.
paying
He's just like,
attention.
he's getting up like, who's talking about me? I'm number one trending all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Word.
Right.
You know what
So,
I mean? But
very interesting times, though. What do you think is going to be post-Trump, assuming that he doesn't get another?
See,
4 years.
The game of politics is, the way I see it, is who's the right candidate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
talking politics, right? One of the things that I'm getting more involved in is local politics.
Okay.
Right? Because I would pay attention to what's happening on, Meet the Press and on a high level. But if you ask me what's going on in my backyard, I'm like, crickets, right?
Right.
I don't know what's going on what district am I in?
Right.
What zone am I in? Who is my council person? What does a council person do? Like, those are sort of things that I'm just really getting more involved in, and I'm just throwing that out there to get your thoughts on, the local politics, and your thoughts on being involved locally.
Yes, I'm involved as a grassroots individual, community service. I've done work in a community center. I guess I'm a skeptic when it comes down to politicians, period.
In general?
I know people that are running. One of my people is running. I'm just like, when you in it, you in it. You're in their program, I believe, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't making no moves, B. Unless you making moves. What was the last, I don't believe that we have any black leaders, any personal color leaders that are movers and shakers. Like the way that we had in a degree of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those, Malcolm X was going to the United Nations like, we gotta move and shake this, B. You know what I'm saying? He was about to go, I think he went. You know what I'm saying? But that was his agenda. That was his agenda. That was his agenda. We don't hear that no more.
Right.
We just hear regular stuff that can be done without you being a politician.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it, man. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Which is one of the reasons why this platform is here, to try to find different ways to talk, because there's not that same leadership. I feel we're looking for the Martin and the Malcolm and that, but we are in a different time. Before there was like legislation that had to be changed. Kind of won that battle. Yeah.
The legislative battle. So how does leadership address the new battle, right? When we kind of won everything on paper and on the books.
Well, we didn't win anything on paper. We didn't. Nah, of course not. I mean, the big R word. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible. Why is it impossible? Reparations. Why is that impossible?
Bingo.
Why is that impossible? Other, you know what I'm saying? Why is that impossible?
Opto. I gotta have you. I want to do. You know what? And you zinged me on that, because that is the one legislative battle that is almost like doesn't exist anymore. We don't even talk about it, right? And that's a huge conversation. And you are 100% right. And that is a conversation.
Why is that impossible? And it's another.
That's the question.
Races, other cultures,
it's
other. You know what I'm saying?
It's beyond the scope of this show, right? In the sense, or this particular show, because I think that needs a show all in and of itself, which maybe if you want, I'll invite you back and maybe we have a few talk about that reparations, because it's a conversation that's like people's reparations, like, oh, we so past that. Like,
right. Nah. No. And the thing is, the way I see it too, okay, we're not so past it. But if it's intangible to you financially, it's still tangible in other ways.
Yes.
I believe it's still it's tangible financially.
That too.
But if you want to go with that, what's the number that you're gonna put on it?
Right.
You want to play that game? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there's other we can have waivers in situations. It may sound extreme or crazy, but sometimes when I see our people's getting locked up, I be like, for reasons of extreme situations. I'm like, that shit was done to us.
Right.
And it may sound extreme and it sounds wrong and immoral and things like that.
But there's a history.
But where's the the blind eye, the scale or whatever? Like,
didn't pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, come on, B. So certain things I'm like, he should get a pass.
There's a lot of ways to repair.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of different creative ways to repair. In fact, legislatively, you talk about what FDR did, and they made a lot of intentional changes and adjustments and programs to repair what was going on in the country. Right. So it's the intent of the government and the politicians to create policy around that. It can be done. So I agree with you on that. Yeah. And I'm so glad you brought that up. Word. You got to come back, because I want to do a show talking on that.
No doubt.
Right? And we'll do a little homework and be ready, but
yes.
To really have that conversation.
Yes.
All right. So with that, right? And we're talking about politics. A hip hop president, right? What do you think? And because I say it, right? I'm the president of hip hop, right. And there's a reason I say it, right? Just I think it initiates some thought and some conversation, right? So, a hip hop president. What do you think a hip hop president? When you hear that, what comes to mind? What do you think a hip hop president would do? Play more Nas? Like what? I've asked that question and we're like, oh, we need more Nas records. But really seriously, what do you think? What do you envision?
I would envision First of all, that they would know the elements of hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
5 elements, right? Then the balance. It's okay. If there was a hip hop president, I don't think that we would have a subgenre called mumble rap.
Okay.
You feel me? That just, to me, you were scared to say the shit was whack.
Okay.
So that should be it. It's not hip hop. It's not. You're not rapping. You are mumbling.
Right.
So let that be a different. Yes. Even the beats ain't boom bap.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Trap is cool. Trap has boom bap elements in certain ways. The way the snares be falling and things like that. But I wouldn't. You don't want to play all. You want to balance.
Balance, right.
Just like when you having a diet, man. I like, you're gonna eat your fruits, your vegetables.
Right.
You're gonna have the nice, your spinach, the broccoli. But then you're gonna have your mac and cheese. You're gonna have your mashed potatoes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you're gonna have your dessert. Exactly. It's okay. You know what I mean? You're gonna cheat a bit. You're gonna cheat a bit, and then you're like, okay, let me get back to, so balance. And I think hip hop was like that. Let's not get it twisted. We had the balance. Like,
talk about it.
Who was able? If I was able to like a lyricist, like a Nas, and then like a flow master, like a Snoop. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was able to. That's balance right there. Like I'm going from one end to the next.
Right.
This dude is, and also whatever the gangster rap element. It's not positive, but we still vibe out with the experience of it because we all live it.
Right.
And this and what it is, it's like you salute that dude, and it's inspiration. Like, I'm in this, I can get out just like him.
Right.
The outsider look at it as it being bad. Because we are being news reporters, those individuals are being news reporters. But and it's a thin line of glorification because that's when the corporations come in, and when you have the fake individuals like the manufactured dudes.
Right.
That are you seriously trying to talk this? That dudes is like dudes is escaping this.
Right.
And just telling their story. They can't escape it and sound corporate. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm a good guy. This that. Now they gotta be like, yo, I'm escaping this.
You run into it. Right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I wouldn't. Just the balance. I see a lot of the youth that, some of them, they can like an optometrist and at the same time bump some stuff that I do. It's like, what is you playing? Right. But, because they want to get turned up. It's the feeling.
Right.
It's the
feeling.
Right.
That's their vibe.
It's the feeling, you know what I mean? And when I worked in the community center, I worked in Sumner projects and things like that. And, all them Brooklyn cats, I'm thinking when I first got there, I was, it was definitely a nice awakening because I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm in Brooklyn. Damn near like DeVille, Brownsville, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids gonna know about Big E. They're gonna know about Wu Camp Click. They're gonna know about Sean Price. Negative.
Right. Okay.
Negative. Negative.
When you brought it to their attention, how did they react?
They watching it like it's education though, not like it's hot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're like this. They're not like this. You know what I mean?
It might take a minute, but know the good thing about it, right?
I gave him the intro.
Yes. And you know what? It's going to be absorbed.
Yeah, I gave him the seed. I gave him the seed.
That's important, man. Because and I think again, and this is why I have you on here. We are at the point where we're still practitioners, but we're educators.
Right.
And we touch the youth.
Right.
And using the art. Because even the fact that you may, they may not know those artists. I know you connected just on a hip hop level. Right?
Yes.
That's like, okay.
That's free. I was doing the elements. I had the ciphers.
Right.
These kids running freestyle. Look, it's okay to say whatever you want.
You need that in the schools.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You need that in the schools. In our school, at least.
Yeah.
To really find revolutionary ways to touch, reach our kids.
Those are one of the things that I'm trying to do also. If it's not putting it in the school, but have a program that's like an after school program that links them in, things like that. Yeah. Even I don't want to say too much.
I got you.
But things.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll
but
talk
the
about that
where
when
it's at.
when it's time, right?
But communities where it's at. The hip hop president. Long story short, we'll have the balance. We'll have the lyrical. We'll have the party. You know what I'm saying? We'll have the ignorant. You know what I mean? But it would be balanced.
Right.
Because that's just what it is. That, you know, at the end of the day, the piece is that. Not everybody's a violent dude.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not everybody's a conscious dude.
Right.
But they there. You chilling. We
Coexisting.
chilling, coexisting, and we lounging with each other.
Right.
You got a violent dude telling another dude not to mess with the conscious dude because we don't want him to turn to the violent dude.
Right.
Y'all want to be like me. I want him to be a statistic. Yo, you keep on knocking those books. I was that dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, son, don't go. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I want to hustle this. I want to do this. Let me get the batch. Let me get that. I got paid. You know what I mean? Yo, chill, son. You wildin'. Word, son. For real. You know what you're gonna do if you get into this situation? Bye. For real. Word. So the hood got that, man.
Yeah, definitely does. Definitely does.
Word.
I relate because I was definitely the geek nerd, right?
Right.
And it was like, nah, homie,
Yeah.
stay right there.
Yeah, chill.
Stay right there.
Good.
You know
what I mean?
You know, stay right there. Stay in that lane. Bring it back to us.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So, I want to talk about you as a father.
Okay.
Right. And I don't know if there's a such thing as a hip hop father. You know, we put hip hop in front of everything. Hip hop abs, hip hop. You know what I mean? But you know, but if there is hip hop abs, right? Then there's got to be a place for hip hop father.
Yeah.
Right. Talk to me about parenting and what being a father. I know you. Obviously, I know you're an involved father. Right. And I don't know if you have any other children, but I met your son. And you know, I was very impressed with your relationship. Right. But talk to me about, and you know, talk to us about, you know, your experience as a father, and you know, just.
Right. Well, I had him. I have two kids.
Mm-hmm.
I had my son at 19, and then was chilling. And then later on down the line, just recently, I had my baby girl, my daughter, in 2016.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Shout out. She's
So word up. Yeah, word up. You know what I mean? So dudes be tripping like, yo, how you do a big gap like that? I'm like, yo, it just happens. It's all good.
Right.
But with my son, I was 19, and again, coming off with the group, like I said earlier, with the surgeons, hip hop, and I'm doing college and all that. You know, things didn't mesh out, but hip hop, he was in it. So I guess I was a hip hop father. I taught him the MCs that I like, every single one. You know, all the groups, every single one. You know what I'm saying? Taught him what he knows, man, when it comes to this hip hop stuff. And then he learned more of today or whatever.
Right.
But I taught him that root.
Okay.
Taught him that essence.
Is there anything you think from being a hip hop artist that may make it unique that you may bring to parenting, maybe in how you give your kids a certain perspective or how you raise them? Is there something that you think?
Yeah, I think in general, if I was a painter, like any artist, if you're a parent and you're an artist, you definitely have an extra edge because you can tell your kids that you can create something from nothing. You know what I mean? You can have this blank piece of paper, you can splash red on it and then yellow, and then it can make some type of abstract scenery, but it's still a creation. Right. So you can, you know, and if you create things, then you can always have them to drive and never to quit. You know, you got this hard homework assignment. You just got lines. You got a loose leaf of work right now. You just got a blank Word, Microsoft Word page. I'm stuck. I'm you know, just write. Just create.
Right.
You see me in this situation.
Right.
You know, just being creative. Being creative, period. You know,
it brings a lot of confidence.
Yeah, being creative, period. And you know, that's what happened. I know I taught my son how to produce. I taught my son how to edit his videos. I remember him you know, using you know, the Mac or whatever, and you know, you're trying to create your own name. What should I name it? Name it what you want.
Right.
Name it what you want.
Right. There it is.
You know what I'm saying? So when school comes, when it comes down for you doing that book report, that project, that special project, it's the extra edge of creativity. It's gonna come about. It's gonna come. You're gonna get those A's, man. You're gonna get those A's and those B's. You're gonna get them.
Exactly. Is there any advice that you can give and be willing to give to any of the hip hop fathers out there, or fathers to be, or whatever? Just from your experience, is there anything that you can you'd like to say that might be of some substance?
Just be transparent as far as your flaws and your successes. You know what I mean? If you're a producer, if you're a hip hop father, I was a producer. Make the beats, don't make them all the time in your headphones.
Okay.
Have them press your keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Have them act up and press the pads.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I keep my situation is an open environment.
Okay.
I don't have a studio where we close the doors and nothing like that.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
My little one is watching some Mickey Mouse or whatever while the beats is banging.
Beats banging, right?
You know? There's times I record and she's talking in the background because it's a template. You know what I mean? It's a reference. I don't care. But you know what? This is a good one. And sometimes you're not gonna hear it with all that music going on.
Right.
But it could be a subliminal. Just keep your kids involved. Keep your kids involved. Keep your kids involved, and you'll stay young. There you go.
There it is.
Word.
All right, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I want to know the vision for your future, right? The vision you have for your future, and then that's how I want to wrap up this this interview, and then we'll go into a segment that I call Sweet Beats, where we'll load up a beat. I got a mic right there.
Okay.
And you get let the people know,
All right.
a little something.
Right. Okay.
If you don't mind.
Okay.
All right. But what's the vision? What's the vision for Opto's future?
You know, it's crazy. The way it's gonna sound cliche, whatever the case may be. But even while I was driving out here, I was driving from Dolo, and I know you don't want to, keep it dated or whatever part of me, but I just see whatever year that we in now. 2020 is what? It's definitely a slogan for the eyes, for optometrists. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be more known. This is gonna be more viral. This whole situation.
Yes, sir.
When I'm driving from Staten Island, I'm seeing all the bridges. I'm seeing the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm like, yo, you know what? I can be that dude. I'm gonna be that dude, that next dude. I can be the king of New York type stuff. And you know what I mean? Like I said, we in a 180 situation where I fit into that lyrical aspect.
Right.
Everywhere I go, I get what you was giving me, and I appreciate. You're a true hip hopper. This, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? And I see that hip hop right now is giving more into that. You know what I'm saying? Like the lane is open because dudes is tired of the non-substance.
Right.
And even got young kids that are coming up. I'll be like, Jesus, this dude is 20-something years old. He got bars.
Right.
Oh, snap. You know what I mean? He's nice.
So he's nice.
You know what I mean? Yes, definitely. And time is short. So now's my time to really execute. Like I said, you live and learn from your past projects. And so basically, the future is that Optometrist, his name is gonna be ringing bells.
Yeah.
Straight cheese.
You caught me with that one.
Hold up.
You catching me.
No doubt.
The future's 2020, y'all. That sounds like a project.
Exactly. Project, profit, all that. You know
Can I get a beat on that?
Yeah.
We'll talk off camera, right?
Yeah. For sure.
And the last question. Talk to the hip hop nation, hip hop universe, and if there's anything you want to, you done said a lot, so I don't know if there's anything else.
Right.
But I'm gonna give you an opportunity just to speak directly to, the hip hop audience out there. And is there anything in particular you'd like to say?
Right. Well, just once again, it's Optometrist. I Dr. Style, now to smash your baby mama. ... Only if she holler. You know what I mean? Cap the stat and make it happen. Boombox material, super rhymes, predatory tactics. That's the next project that's coming out. www.otunes.com with a Z. That's Otunes, like iTunes, but it's my tunes because it's live tunes. You know what I mean? So that's where you can see all my statuses at, all my projects. If you want to follow me on the gram, it's at MCOPT because it's OPT and I'm an MC. You heard? And that's really about it, man. That's it.
Easy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But listen, I want to say thank you very much for coming through, Opto.
Thank you for having me.
You represented yourself and the culture extremely well as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
And it's a privilege to have you on my show.
Yes, sir.
Our last segment is called Sweet Beats, right? So we'll just get everything set up. Pause for a minute, but we'll get everything set up. Where I drop a beat, pull up the mic, and
say less.
do what you do.
Do it.
There it is. There it is.
All right. Check. Produced by the president of hip hop, the hip hop president.
Sweet Beats, y'all.
About to get reckless. Bob your head, man, quick. Check. We started off with a freestyle. Meanwhile, representing Staten Island to the Bronx. Otis Bond, Polo, Timberland or Nike is what I stomp. Check. It goes, hidden agendas. They wanted to remember the Holocaust at 9/11, but forget whatever my ancestors had to endeavor before my African brothers and sisters' families was ever separated when they came in on the stations. They were leaders with traditions that were sacred but were taken when the pale man came in. And this is far from racist. You'll get this information. If you use your fingers to flip the pages in this here nation. Oh, beautiful, the usual, just like the truth. And the curtains whom I know what feels uncomfortable. Trust my dude, it's true love better than true lies. Wickedness, peace in their eyes, I beat the disguise. There's no surprise that lies reside in between the lines. As we can televise, we need to be about what we feed our mind. They messing with our genetics deeper than genocide. We play by their rules don't apply, we rise. Now, yo, let me get back to a line. A freestyle, a matter of fact, a rhyme that I have back in the composition written. Let me hurry up and dig quick. Luminous, lucrative, moves will be moving in pursue. I pursue stupid. Only thing I'm losing is my mind. Shoes loose, no noodle scruples. Not new to brutalize, truth, leave them futile. Useless, usual moves that you're used to. Opposite optometrist, ops not to stoop to. You dudes continue to execute. Left the rest with the refuse. Exclude spectacles of nuisance. Period in the story conclusions. My decently deep stars and contusions. Commute music to boom in the H2. Or your hoop with pull use Buddha slips. Tropical potent is logical for you to know my flow is impulsive. Here to track react, ground zero results. Have convulsions as high voltage, man do know it's. Oh, when cyclone is down, we hold this. Wiping out the bogus, felonious bullshit. I'm so fit, and the kid don't hit the gym. Type slim, but my pockets is thick. Know what it is, Optama. Bullets in your chest, Aaron Rodgers, damn armor. Liverpool beats and got a lot of. Ripping always proper type of stuff you need to watch her. And keep it always rocking till I retire. What up? I keep going if you want. I know we got time, but I don't know if we got time. We got more time to grind.
Yeah, one more,
cause it's raw. One more, cause it's raw. One more, cause it's raw. Yo. It goes. I pledge allegiance to the American flag, the same flag that gave Agent Orange to my dad. Due to the draft, you stupid ass super do that. Okay, what I thought it was a continuation. Okay. That's what I thought it was the same. Okay. We're gonna do it though. We're gonna smooth it though. Yo, I pledge allegiance to the American flag, the same flag that gave Agent Orange to my dad. Due to the draft, you stupid ass super do the axe. Rolled up my stab, so question my craft. I stepped up and credited cash, weapons of mass appeal. When I rap, bring it back, let's start the jackets and caps, commercials with jazz, my verbal herbals, run hurdles and circles, the dude like Urkel, still back a chick that's bad, baddest in the lab, I laugh at that ass, you just like drag, you soft like wet pores, you know what I'm saying, keep going, bro. Yo, Staten Island, to the Bronx, Staten Island, you know what I mean, Optometrist, the president of hip hop, good looking y'all for coming through, peace.
No question, my man. Oh man, listen. Thank you for tuning in to the suite. That's what I'm talking about.
Sweet at the sweet.
There you go. Ain't nothing sweet at the suite except for the beats. We
Word up.
bring the heat. Hold on. You know, I'm getting out my lane now. I can spit a little bit, just a little bit.
yeah.
Just not today. All right. But Optometrist, Courtland W. Hankins III, the president of hip hop. Word up, the future is 2020. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for tuning in. The suite.
The suite.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Suite with Courtland W. Hankins III, the president of hip hop. The Suite is directed and produced by Courtland W. Hankins III. Music is brought to you by Smart Monkey Productions. The Suite is shot on location at Mantic International Studios in the South Bronx, USA. This is hip hop. We move with a divine energy, purposefully inspired to recreate balance, equity, and a more natural state of being.
The suite.